Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for watching this video. In this video, we are going to create our first Oracle Visual Builder application. So let me show you how we can create all this thing. So first we need to navigate to the Visual Builder, that is Oracle Cloud Visual Builder. And in previous video, I have explained that how you can navigate here and how you can access the Visual Builder application. So now first we have to create the application. Inside that application, we can have multiple web pages. So let me first create the application. So as you can see, this application I have already created. So now we have to create a new application. So need to go to new button. So once we will click, it will ask the application name. So let me give the name as my first app. And based on name, it will automatically populate the ID. You can change the ID later or you can let it be same. So now for each and every application, we have template. We can use different template, but for now, I am going to use empty application template. Select and click on finish. Once you will click on finish, your new application will be created. And inside that application, we have to create the web pages. So as we are going to develop the web application, right? So here you can see this is the home page or welcome page when we created the application. And here you can see once you will click on this web application, we don't have any application right now. So first we have to create the web application. So you can directly click here or else you can select here the responsive app. So once you will click here in the responsive app, it will navigate you to the same page. So as we have to create the application, we will click here. If we want to create the database table, that we need to create the business object in VBCS. So let me create the first page. So I will click here in the web application. And here we have to give the name to the application. So what kind of application name we want to give? So I will give the name as welcome page. Instead of welcome page, I will use welcome app. Right? And here instead of app, you can use the page, whatever you want. So let me use the page only, welcome page, so that it will be easy to identify. Now here we have to select the style. So I will select the non-style, that will be the empty style. Even you can select based on requirement, that can be bottom tabs or the navigation drawer. So let me select the none and click on create. So empty page will be created with all the files, all the resource file, configuration file. Here you can see this is the main designing page where we will design our web pages. This is the property. This is the component tab. This is the structure of the page. And this is the data for the page. That can be the database table or the endpoint, that you business object. And here this is the web page, list of web pages. So right now we have only first web page we created, that is the web welcome page. So once you will expand inside this welcome page, we have the resources. So in the main, once you will expand the main, you can see the main start. This is our main page. This is our first page. This is actual web page. These all are the components for that. In fragment, once you will expand, you can see cell footer and the cell header. So here if you will see the main page, in main page, we have, this is our header and this is our footer. So that's why we have whatever page you will create, each and every page will having the same header and footer. That header and footer will be coming from the fragments only, the cell footer fragment, and you can see the cell header. So this is, you can see the cell footer, this is the footer items, and once you will click here the cell header, you can see the header part. You can see this is the header. Even we can change header from here, we can change the logo, all the details. And here in the resource, we have all the components like a string, some string variable we created to use globally. We can use create here. We can create JavaScript function. We can have image. We can have CSS file. All the details you can see. In components, we can have different things, action, all the details. So now here you can see once we will remove the resources. Now here root pages. So in root page, we have cell. Cell defines the structure of the page. Here you can see in the cell we have header line, header page, and the footer, and this is our main component, main page where we will design our web pages. So these all are the basic details. Let me remove all these things. Now this is our main page, right, where we have to design. So I will click on the component. So I don't want to use this thing again. I will just click here to hide that one. Right, so now you can see this is our web pages. By default, the web pages come with header and footer, and this is the design for the web pages. So if you don't want this design, you can remove. So how you can do, you can see this is the design, and once you will go code, this code is for the by default design. This is the main design, like this lining, this image lining, main and all here. So let me remove all these things. Removed. Click on design again, and you can see now our page part is empty. Right, this is our header, this is footer. I don't want to change anything here. Now this is, now suppose I want to add the message. So for adding the message or heading, we have header here. So if you will search heading, you can see this is a heading. It's really very simple to design the web page in VBCS. Just you need to search the components and drag components here. So here you can see heading added. If you want to change the name, click here, go to the property, and you can see once you will select the components, go to properties, and you can see here this is the ID of this heading, and you can see this is the text. So instead of text, if I want to change the welcome to the VBCS page development, and here you can see the text will change. Now if you want to change the size or header, that right now it's is head h1, that's the highest header. If we will go, it will be small, you can see a small and a small. If you want to check or you check the live pages, you can click on this live. So in real time, what kind of page will be look like, you can see here. Or even here we have the option to run the page to check the development. So click here, it will open in new tab. The same page will be open in new tab, so that you can test your development. You can check your development in the web page only. So here you can see this is our web page we created. In the web page, this is our header, this is our footer, and this is the text we added. Welcome to the VBCS page development. Suppose we want to add the text box. So here in VBCS we have input text. If you will search input, you can see we have input text. Input text will give you option to get the data from user, and here you can see we'll drag, and you can see by default input text came here. And what is the label, you can see the text. You can change here name. You can see the name is listed here. And once you will click on any component, you can see the properties listed here. These all are the properties. You can make it a small, large, and the same for each and every element we drag and drop in the page, the canvas page. We can have the code for each and every element. If you will go to the code, here you can see we have the code for that. You can see this is division. In the div, we have the header of h5 we added, and the text for h5, welcome to the VBCS page. And if you want to add anything, just make it. Let's start. And if you will go to the design, you can see the same. Let's start. Here you can see whatever changes we will do in the code, the same will be reflect in the design, and whatever changes we will do in the design, for the same we can get the code in the code part. Here you can see we have the input text. So the name is OJ input text, and the label is name. If instead of name, if we will add developer name, and if we will go to the design, you can see we have the developer name option here. Right, go to the code again, and you can see all the classes for that and all the details. And suppose you want to add the button, you can directly add the button here by drag. Let's search the button. You can see this is the button. We can drag directly button here, or you can go to the code, and whenever you want to add. So I want to add the button after div, after the input box. You can drag the button here. So once you will drag the button, all the code for that button will automatically added here. You can see div class OJ flex. This is the flex field. Here we have the class flex item size and the button, and this is the label of the button as button. Here you can see the design item. This is button. If you want to change the label, go here and change the button to submit, and the same will reflect here. And if you want to change from submit here, you can see select the element components, go to the properties here, and you can see here label as submit. you can change the design of that button. We have different design for the button. You can see, go below, and here if you will go to the all, in all you can see all the properties. Here you can see in the chroming, you can see we have the style. If you will go for solid, you can see the button style is changed. If you will go to the outline, you can see the button having outline. In all, here you can see in chroming, if you will select danger, you can see the button color is red. If you will go and select the call to action, that will be dark. So all these designs you can do here. There are various properties for button and all the components here. Here you can see general attributes. If you will click expand here, you can have the multiple various options to give the style, to give the language, hidden facilities, direction, left to right, right to left. If you will go for the right to left, all the things we can do here, change here. So now what we want? We want whatever value user will input here. Once user will click on the submit, this value should reflect as a pop-up option. So let's see how we can do. So for that, what we can do, we can create one variable. So whenever what it will happen, we will create one variable and we'll map this variable with this input text. Whenever user will click on the submit, we will pick that value from this variable, map to the input text. So let's add. So now our requirement is to first store the value, whatever data we have inside this text box, to the variable. For that, first we need to create the variable. So here you can see this is the main start page, and in each and every page we have the component, we have the task list. Here you can see we have one element as variable. Once you will click here, whatever variable we will create, that variable will be comes under the this page only. So just click here in the variable, give the variable name. So I just want to create variable name like var underscore name. And here you can select the type. So right now we know that we are going to store varchar value or the string value. That's why type is a string. You can change these values to any other values. So here I will select a string and click on create. So new variable is created, right? And here you can see you can provide the default value and many things. So right now I don't want to provide anything here. So now our variable is created. Go to the page designer. And now next step is to, whenever user will enter any value inside the text box, that value should be available or assigned to that variable. So how that will be performed? For that we have event. You can see we have to select the input text and we want to add the trigger. We want to add the event on this input text only, so that whenever any value will come inside this text box, the value will be assigned to the variable. So what I will do, I will select this one, and here you can see we have event. So once we will click on this new event, you can see we have event name as on value. It means that whenever this text box will have any value, this will perform certain action. What action it will perform? The action will be defined in the action chain. So once we click here, you can see new action chain is created, and the name of that action chain is input text value change chain. And here we have to perform the operation. So here you can see once we created the action chain, we created the event. You can see the default we have one parameters to the chain. What parameters? You can see the event.details.value. So this value is the value of this input text box, and this value is going to pass as a parameters to action chain. So once you will click here again, you can see this is the action chain. Inside the action chain, we have the parameters as the value. This is the same parameters we have over there. So this value we want to assign to the variable we created here, right? If you will click here, you can see this is our variable var name. We want to assign that value with this variable. So go to the action again, and here we have actions, different actions. In action chain, what kind of action, what kind of task you want to perform? In the action, I want to perform the assign task to that variable. We want to assign value to that variable. For that, we have assign variable action. So drag this assign variable action here, and once you will select here, you can see it will ask the variable in which variable we want to assign the value. So here we have to select the variable. So you can click here and you can see the variable name, or you can directly click here, you can select the variable name. So I will select the variable name as var name. Even you can create a new variable too. So right now I will create the variable, select the variable as we created var name. So now we selected the variable, and what kind of value we want to assign to this variable. We want to assign to the value to the variable using this value tag. So here, once you will click on this fx, it will show you the expression builder. And here you can see this is action chain, and inside the action chain we have the value. This is the same parameter of the action chain. I will drag this here and click on save. It means that whenever this action chain will be called, it means whenever that event will occur to assign the, whenever user will enter any value in this input text box, this event will occur, and this event will call the action chain. And in this action chain we use assign to assign the value to that variable. What value? This the value, the parameters value. And here once you will click here, you can see this is the value. Even here, for each and every action we have the code, each and every design. Here you can see, once you will click on code, you can see the code for that. You can see run, and here you can see the page dot variable name is equals to value. This is the value coming to the parameters as a chain. So again go to the design, and now first step is clear. Whenever user will enter any value to this input text, the value will be stored in the variable. Now we have to add another event. Whenever user will click on this submit, new pop-up I want to show the notification like that. So what we want to add? We want to add event to this button. So we'll select the button. Here you can see in the input text we have already event. Now we have to go to the button, and in button we don't have event right now, but we want to add the event. So just click new event, and here you can see in the button we have event add OJ action. Once you will select OJ action, again you can see we have the action chain created. Name of action chain is button action chain. And here you can see we don't have parameters. If you will go to the designer again, select the button, and you can go to the event. You can see event name is OJ action, and the action chain name is that button action chain, but we don't have any parameters. Even we can add the parameters, but right now we don't want any parameters. Again go to the action chain by clicking here, or directly go to the action. And here right now we have the button action chain. You can change the action chain by selecting here. So right now what we want, whenever user will click on that button, we want to show the pop-up message. For that we have fire notifications. So we will drag this fire notification, and in the notification we want to display the message. What message we want to display? We have to print the here. So we want to display message like welcome to the team, and the name, whatever name user will provide. So here we will add. So you can directly type the message, or select the action here, and here you can directly type or go for the function to open the expression. So I will write message like welcome to the team. Let me add the welcome to the VBCS team, and here after the comma we want to give the username. So whatever name user given. So here we have the username in that variable var name. So I will drag this var name, but these two are different. This is hard coded value, and this value is coming from the variable. So we have to concurrent these two. For that we have plus operation. So once you will select, the real value will be welcome to the VBS team, comma, and this will be the name from the variable. So now click on save. Our action is completed. Go to the page designer, and here our page is ready to execute, ready to run. So I will click on properties to hide these properties. I will click on this component to hide the component, all these things. This is our page. If you want to run the page, want to check the page in live mode, click on this live. And once you will click on the live, you can see this is the same application will be live. So here search anything, just give the name as Zafar and click on submit. You can see the pop-up is created. So, and welcome to the VBCS team Zafar. But here you can see we have the error icon. So let me change that one. So how we can change? Go to the design again, and we have to go to the action of this button. So click button, properties, and event. Here we have action chain. Click here. This is the notification, right? And if you will go to the notification type, here we have errors. So instead of error, we will select info. So now you can see the type of the notification is changed to info. Now again go to the page, and here now we have to run the page. Instead of go live, I want to run the page. So here go and click on this run. So once you will click on run, it will take a little bit of time to load the page. Once the page will be loaded, we will be able to run the application. So here you can see this is our first application created. The name, welcome to the VBCS page development. Let's start. Here we have to provide the developer name. So let me give the name as Aaron Zafar. And once you will click on submit, you can see we have the pop-up as welcome to the VBCS team, Aaron Zafar. So friend, this is a simple application we created in VBCS. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe this channel and put your comment if you have any query. I want to ask anything. Thank you so much again for watching this video.